Hee-haw.
22.
20.
3.
22.
23.
Which one are we on?
23, right?
Last week was 21.
Serious?
No, it's probably 23. It's 23.
Yeah, I'm accounting in dot matrix.
Because I just said it.
All right, so good evening, everybody. Good evening, all our guests.
I peel off the label for that bottle.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Somehow, when the podcast starts, is when these dogs that decide that they want to have things.
Is it
to
skinny one? Is it skinny one I eat, man?
say. All right, cool. How you been, brother?
Yeah, well, I know. LLB. That's all I was.
Don't worry. She'll get out for that. It's all good. It's all good.
No, way.
You had a good weekend beside that?
No. What? Okay.
We're going to make it happen, dog. All men deserve hugs, right? All right, cool. This evening we have two of our specially invited guests. All right. Thank you very much for coming out, number one. I just wanted to introduce yourself. We're starting with the ladies first. You know, they say he's misogynist on the show and whatever the case is.
If you ever see Set It Off, in all the fight scenes, Queen Latifah was in, or whatever, remember anything? This is her stunt double. This is Queen Latifah's stunt double.
Again, this
As a she could do the jump on rolls and stuff, all the jumps and the shots and things she does all the stunt work. So
there's not no compliment. It's the truth, right?
this is what her IMDb said.
Oh,
At
okay.
least. That's what it said.
Hi, Monique. And should I introduce based on status?
Everything. You.
Okay, so
Run
I'm
away.
Monique, and majority of people would probably know me as a retired OnlyFans creator. And currently exploring, I should say, business and a career in engineering and sales and a creative director. So, hi.
Hello. Welcome.
And our other guest.
Okay, so my name is Nicholas Ottley.
Okay, Mike. No, see the distance. What's the distance? What's the distance? See.
So my name is Nicholas Ottley. I have a company called Supply Solutions Limited. And we do construction, fabrication, welding, everything.
Yeah.
Is this how you say it, like real humble?
Though
You just say it real humble?
now this is he gonna answer.
He's a consigliere.
It's like a diesel engine. When it start to run though.
That's it. He's just saying, well, no, I just saw this
Yeah, I
company.
told him that I'm very loquacious.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I know you have money now, because I don't know what loquacious mean. Loquacious is a big word.
That's our money, man.
That's our money, man. I never heard that word before, and I went to a prestige school, so you know the kind of money you playing with at a stick.
All right, everybody. So welcome to the Hee-Haw Show. It's your boy, Mr. Bazi.
At
Mr. Dot Bazi
underscore 2 man at 2 Mizi.
So welcome. So we're going in. Monique, welcome. So you've been you started off saying that you are retired in the trade of content creation on this platform called.
You see how nice he's making it sound? He was a retired OnlyFans model. Well, we're OnlyFans person.
Yeah.
Hold on, brother.
That's what you say. Make it sound nice. You make it sound nice. You make it sound nice.
We have ammo. Don't worry.
How do we make it sound nice?
Relax. All right. So just enlighten us, the people who don't know exactly what is OnlyFans, how you get into that, and what basically inspired you to start doing that.
Wow. Okay, so I would probably go back to COVID was a really major point to how I made this decision on becoming an OnlyFans model. Since I knew myself, I've always been like very independent. I would say that I was probably young, headstrong, kind of go-getter when I accomplished my dreams. So when COVID happened, it hit me really hard because I was working. I was hoping to get a permanent position, and it didn't happen. And then I kind of went into this depressing state where it is I wasn't able to like do any of my trades because I was doing like 3 sources of income. I wasn't able to go to class. Like everything just felt like okay, what I was working for was just kind of just went out the window. So I would admit when I was in COVID, I was definitely the dress up girl spending money on clothes. And I had a quick realization that a lot of the things that I had in my room really wasn't making any sense. And
In your room?
Yeah, like I had purses, bags. I used to buy things in two. So a lot of these things were staying in my face. And I had a quick realization of a lot of the things that I spending my money on. So I just had to kind of get realistic with what it is I had. And I remember I had friends who was doing this before. But knowing my background, I am very religious, coming from a home from Muslims and Christianity. And
Muslims and Christian.
yeah,
Okay, interesting.
I think I really,
Okay, any most static in terms of
but both. I live with my grandparents majority of times, which was a split between Christianity and Muslim. So I basically had a really strong background with religion and so on with spirituality. So I had friends who was doing this, and they was pretty okay in COVID. They had a cash flow flowing. So I remember I was like, okay, I have this. I did applied engineering. I was like, okay, what it is I'm going to actually do with this? I can't really do anything with none of the.
your speed applied engineering and like what type of engineering?
That's the
That's-
category. Applied
so you have a
engineering.
degree
Yeah,
in
it's not-
engineering, applied engineering.
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ.
I was also doing like sales and merchandising and stuff like that. So, looking at what it is I had to play with my cards, looking at what was really, I would say opportunities in COVID to make money, it really wasn't cutting it, and I just decided to just use what it is I had available, which was my ring light, a bunch of clothes,
Which was your what?
ring light.
What's that?
Like, well, okay, that's not
Oh,
ring light, but yeah,
yeah,
a ring light, a bunch of clothes. And I remember my friends like, you make a banging on OnlyFans. So, knowing me, I'm very open-minded. I kind of had, okay, what it is you see yourself doing in some years to come, the type of guy you'd want to date. How would your family respond to this? I really didn't really had my family support. So I kind of brushed over thinking about my family in this situation. So I decided, I remember I posted one video. Nobody knew about it. I posted one video on OnlyFans, but the content.
They did before your speed. I wanna get gruesome details here. What was in this video? Describe it intimately.
It was adult content, sexual.
I
right?
don't know what that means. I'm stupid, and so is he. So he don't want to sit
Could
down.
I?
Me three.
Me three.
Okay. How it was sex?
Okay, all right. That's
With you and somebody?
No, it was just with toys.
all right.
Okay, like Donald Duck and like Daffy and stuff.
You see, what we're trying to get at here, right, is there's a law, or when I say law, some folklore about this OnlyFans content creation that it's basically something that you get to see and experience. The most of a young lady, you pay for it, right? Subscription.
Subscription base.
Yeah.
Right? So you really have to educate us on the process, right? Because at the end of the day, this edification will help.
And you put it on Twitter or X, as what it
No.
was before it was Twitter.
This was even before I had a plan or knew how OnlyFans work. All I knew is my friends was doing this, and I just one day made some personal content. It was really good quality compared to what people was putting out
Hold
in
on.
Trinidad.
Ma'am,
Sexual content.
Ma'am, I understand you are saying these things. Cool. Which is cool. Fine and dandy. But you see better than what you have out there. I'm not that thirst, Batsy. I perversed. Man, not thirst. You thinking why I thinking because your eyes open and you're thinking why I'm thinking too. What you mean with it more? What it had out there and why were you better? So it had no other toys users?
No, I wouldn't say that, but
It was in HD.
yeah.
Okay.
These 380p. You see these 360p videos with
10,
girls?
yeah, 1080p.
She had the full friggin' 4K out. Good. With the ring light and shit. Good stuff.
Everything was set up good. But like I said, I went into this not knowing exactly how OnlyFans worked. And I remember posting this video, and I didn't really I kind of selectively sent out people who I knew would have supported me. And
You understand? She keep doing it, you know, like she just swinging and going over the fence here. Oh. So it had fellas who would be like down in your DMs. That's what you mean? And it's just like, okay, he thirsty enough to like pay for this?
I mean, friends, I would have talked to friends about it. Like an
Amway subscription?
I would say like more mature guys.
I sound okay. Like I sound excited because it's the first time again to like talk. Mostly, okay, I've been on OnlyFans because I trying to figure out how the business works. So I talk to some of these models, and there's never school with a game in terms of if I want to manage 2-3 girls, and it's like how you get into it exactly what's the breakdown, what's the money, and they never want to answer. So if I seem excited, it's not because I want to see you naked, because I really want to figure out how this is work in terms of money. I trying to pick your brain.
Okay, so that's just what I was explaining. Like, I didn't really have an idea how it was working. All I knew is that it had a paywall, I had a paid wall. I did not have anything public because I wasn't even, anybody knew me to be that person on social media. I did not have that image on social media. Obviously, my family would have never had that image. So I was kind of skeptical. But I did send it to a few fellas that would have been, okay, I'll support you, which was more older guys. But I remember somebody sent me this video. And I deleted everything off of OnlyFans. And I was like, okay, Monique, this is something I had to have a reality that it's going to happen. Like, how are you going to deal with this? Are you ready to like make this decision? I really, 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 really had to sit down and see myself 10 years, where it is I was going, how I'm going to work with this OnlyFans money. Is it something that I enjoy? Is it something that I didn't enjoy? Which definitely wasn't something I enjoyed.
Okay. All right. So, you have a question?
Hey, it's a lot of things you're speeding past here, sonny. So when you say you didn't enjoy it, you didn't enjoy the sex part of it, or you didn't enjoy what part of it?
I did not enjoy the sex part of it.
So you're not really into sexual stuff?
No, I wouldn't say I'm not into it. Remember, okay, I grew up religious. So obviously, like, I would have an idea of what sex should be like, and then, we kind of be, okay, the kind of things that you do to kind of question yourself. Another thing is to, like, the traditional way of, meeting someone, and, these are all things to ask questions on, because you're basically putting yourself out there and inviting others sexually to view. Like, it was a struggle for me. I would say it's definitely a struggle for me. And I had to put a persona on a lot. I know a lot of people think that I really had a lot of fun time on OnlyFans. But I had a lot of times where I struggled to, like, make content. I had to, like, numb myself to say, like, okay, Monique, this is just a means of making money. I had to really, like, numb parts of me to get the process done, because nobody really wants to care. Like, people want to know you enjoy what you do. And nobody really care what it is you're going through. So, like, that's just a part of me I really had to numb, and it was something that I struggled throughout to make content and to meet a certain,
figure?
Yeah.
You had Rigi figure?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. So
business was good.
So generally speaking, it was an uncomfortable experience for the most part.
It was, and then I was definitely a very shy person before getting onto OnlyFans, and I really was not confident in a lot of things sexually. Because I had to do content, I had to explore myself more on that level. It gave me a lot of confidence on that aspect of thing, because if it is you really want to make good content, you have to really dig internally.
Oh, I thought you was going to say dig deeper. Can you
No,
pause?
I didn't think internally to get
You
them
there with me, boy.
content.
You right there with me.
All right, cool. So we just glaze over plenty talking points there, right? All right. The crux of the matter remains. This was the enjoyable experience, but at the end of the day, you gain something from it, which was financial.
Yeah.
All right. Definitely speaking, I not want to judge and tell nobody, well, don't do it. But you being a retired OnlyFans
Yeah.
model,
A retired
retired successful OnlyFans model, would you advise young ladies to get into this trade, or what would be your advice?
So since doing OnlyFans, I've always been using my platform to like not only like say they glamorize OnlyFans and the easy money. I definitely had used my platform to kind of show the parts where it is okay. They say a certain type of girl would do OnlyFans. I think it's true on a certain level if you're looking at it as a angle. And I would say the type of girl that will fall in this category is probably even have family support, probably have financial situations where it is you need to take care of yourself. A lot of people who are on there probably went through some sort of trauma. I would say probably you're young and yes, you have been from a home where you're probably taken care of well, and you just see like, okay, I'm pretty and I could probably get easy money and stuff like that. You really, but don't take in consideration your future. So I would say that I wouldn't glamorize OnlyFans, but at the same time, like, I feel like it is a situation where it is the adult industry would take advantage of these skills. And I guess it's a win-win situation where it is in a position where it is you're desperate for money. I would say desperate because if I had other opportunity to do something else, I wouldn't have choose OnlyFans. So it is in a situation where it is, I think, you're vulnerable to get taken advantage of. A lot of these girls don't really have a mindset on how to like go into the sunset as a business opportunity and build on it and kind of get out, or not having support and having to deal with a lot of the mental struggles. And then obviously this is something that follows you throughout your future. Like, you definitely have to know what it is you want to do, and you definitely have to have a very strong back to deal with it, because putting your reputation on the line and having it basically ripped apart, you're really going to have to put in 10 times more than the average person to get that respect back.
So what would you say is your experience now post OnlyFans with respect to male or on the dating market, because finding a partner? Have you had challenges?
Are you in a relationship now? Not in a relationship now?
Yeah.
Because you didn't say it. Single.
Yeah, I'm in a relationship, but
From before or?
before.
So this is during.
And
the
he was
period.
cool the whole time.
Well, how to put it? I met him as a friend, and I was okay. So what was my I would say my mistake as dating? How to put? I would say I would date guys what people would think looking at me before I had joined OnlyFans would have dated. Like, okay, you're a young girl, have a lot going for you. Like, you're dating your category, right? But oftentimes I felt like I was very misunderstood, and I was coping through a lot of things that I didn't want to burden that person with. I really didn't have a vulnerable, what it is I felt like I needed. So obviously, like when I started OnlyFans, I kind of made up my mind, like, okay, if I'm going to date a guy, I'm going to date a guy. I don't want to have to put my past or anything that I'm going through pressure his social status. So I was very transparent and honest. And I remember I met him at a friend's house.
So you
And
had start then always link up. All right, cool.
I don't think.
I just get any timeline.
No. It wasn't anything public yet.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually helped me with getting my content.
Because that was the next question I was going to ask you. How did he receive your content creation?
Yeah, I told him about it, and he had an open mind. He's like, okay, that would be very far from what it is would have be expected, but he had a very open mind.
And he's like, you're around your age?
No, I think he's 3 years older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 20s. That's 20s. Like,
There we have it.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
problem. No problem.
But I wouldn't say like it was something far fetched from him, where it is he feel like it would have threatened his social status, and I was very open, and I kind of this, but some people tell me like I have my dignity is a little too high. My dignity is a little too high, and my standards are a bit too high for what it is I do. But I think everybody has that person out there. If it is, you really be honest with yourself. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to put myself in a category like, okay, this is what it is I'm doing. I'm going to look for a traditional guy who would probably see this as the worst sin I'd ever commit in this world. So, as I said, I was very honest, and we have been friends for like a year. Because I told you guys, like, I came from a traditional background. Doing this way, I really wasn't even looking for a relationship. But we have been friends. He have been very supportive throughout it. And this was, I would say, when we got into a relationship, it definitely had some sides of where it is affecting my relationship. And because it's something that I have never experienced or dated somebody while doing this, we really had to have a lot of honest conversation. What it is he was okay with, what it is I was not okay with, where it is we see our relationship, things that may have a backlash in the long run that he wouldn't be able to cope through, which would have been the idea of really putting myself out there as, okay, selling my content, would I want to blow up popular for OnlyFans scale, or would I be settling for like the number, like that's the average income?
So to live a normal life as opposed to a celebrity lifestyle.
Definitely.
All right,
Kill a mosquito.
brother. Welcome.
You've been here. I see the
Been here.
you and me eyes make for a couple of times.
I am so captivated by what you're talking about. And one of the things I want to commend you for is I think that you've demonstrated a great deal of maturity in all the decisions. It's probably has to do with the fact that you're an engineer. I'm an engineer, so I know it redounds to a very analytical way of thinking, and it shows. And kudos to you, because I think you managed the exigencies of that industry very well, all things considered.
Because she's young. She
young.
she cracked me this before mid-25. She get out, get the money, whatever.
You know what I had to say, which are echoing your sentiments, is that not much people would have the ability to hold themselves accountable.
That accountability really hit me when it is I went through the process of rebranding online, and I didn't really pay attention to accountability. Yeah? I'm being real honest here, and that is something that I think a lot of women these days don't take accountability.
Say it for the ladies in the back.
Say it loud. Say it loud.
A lot of women these days don't take accountability.
So you know they're going to attack you now, right?
She on our side, guys. Ha ha.
Right.
But when it is I went through this process, obviously I had went through a really emotional process. Like, I started to question, like, was it even worth it and stuff like that. But then I had to really check myself and be like, Monique, this is a part of what it is you prepare yourself to go through. Like, you're going to have people that is going to tell you, like, you're not going to be more than what it is you was, which is a OnlyFans creator. Nobody else ever is going to take you serious. You're never going to, like, do anything outside of what it is you're doing now. But I think my accountability part, it sucked, But at the same time, it gave me strength to analyze that when I made these decisions, I didn't make it blinded, and I'm actually giving myself a pat on the back for doing it a lot sooner than the time frame that I have given myself. And I'm very happy that it's before that a situation where it is I'm pregnant and have a child involved, where it is I have to consider, okay, how it is I'm going to navigate this situation. So I think I have a little more time to mature and understand how it is I'm going to cope through it. And I guess when that time period comes, it's probably going to hit me a next slap in the face of taking accountability.
Here we go.
Because it seems to me, right, this process was almost like a journey for you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it would have forced you to grow up a lot faster than you may have had to otherwise. So I know that you consider it to be somewhat of a painful experience, but if you could have hypothetically gone back in time, would you do it again?
I sat with myself because only of recently, when I started, I said, okay, I'm going to go back into the corporate world. I sat with myself and asked myself, Monique, why didn't you think about going to find a job in the fields of probably engineering or sales or stuff that you find interesting now? But when I look back at it, I really did not have the opportunity. When I sat down and thought about what it is I have available. I even had...
ICO? Not ICO.
It had ICO.
It had ICO during COVID.
You see how her face kind of bunches.
No, I worked... Okay, so here's the thing.
Because I was working ICO during COVID.
Okay, wait. Let me rephrase that. Okay, so during COVID time, I had so to pay, right?
Oh, God.
I also was assisting my mom with bills and stuff in the whole house, and it was just us alone with my little sister.
No dad.
No, my dad was in jail.
Okay. No.
So I also saw myself. This is something I would say I wish I knew before I made this decision. Because of my background and like looking at my status now and not having like both parents around and having the support that I really would have wished I had, I think I looked at it as an aspect like I needed to have my stuff put together financially because nobody was going to do it for me. And I guess it made me make the decision to feel as though like I needed to like find a job that is going to cover all these bills instead of like analyzing the situation and being okay with, okay, Monique, you might lose 2 years, 3 years of a career opportunity, where it is you might make the amount of money that you're making, or you could take the rest of this and still like accomplish the goals that you have set out for yourself. So
Okay. So this...
Because Hardy.
one thing though.
Here we go.
While that's fabulous, I don't feel like you answered the question.
can you rephrase the question?
Okay, so you know that this experience in whatever mysterious ways,
He talking now, Mike? Yeah.
right, has allowed you to grow. So the question is, notwithstanding the trauma that came with it, would you do it again? Like, if you could go back in time, would you do it again? Do you consider this?
Doc Brown come with the DeLorean
Yes.
and it's like sick. Drive down the road, we go back in time to fix time, Marty. There we go.
She catch the analogy.
Yeah, I catch it. But
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's all.
difficult for me to say because I went through this process of question. I still question myself to this day. I feel as though I did not have the opportunity. I was definitely a different person. If I was to make decisions and the opportunities that I have now, I would say I would not choose OnlyFans. But do I regret it? Do I regret it?
No.
No regret. All right.
This you must never have regrets because
No, but you wouldn't do it again.
You
But
would
you
I
wouldn't
think
do
it put me on a way different path.
Okay.
It was better that you did.
I think
Because I was going to ask.
That's actually what I was trying to ascertain.
Yeah.
I was trying to ascertain if she thinks that this put her on a better path. Like if you could ascribe that to the experience rather than a negative takeaway.
I remember when it is I was going to study marine engineering, right? I remember that
Civil engineer.
I did not have a passion for it. I was just going because this is what my family would have wanted to see me do because I have a lot of potential. What I really wanted to do was probably find myself as a stylist, step into the arts and entertainment. And this has somehow put me on a platform to be able to associate myself with certain people. And I would say every day I'm very happy. Was I happy while doing OnlyFans? I wouldn't say that. I was happy every day. But
Because that means you in the bracket with like Mia Khalifa. Because Mia Khalifa was doing porn. Was like doing full on porn. I know she
Yeah.
just doing
Mia Khalifa is
the girl who can't go tell Lebanon. The one who they tell her they'll kill her if she come Lebanon.
Okay.
It have because what I was gonna ask is it have two documentaries on Netflix. Three. Life After Porn 1 and 2. I watched both. And Hot Girls Wanted, which is basically girls around your age, they pull them into to do amateur porn, whatever. And every single one of these girls end up getting somewhat mash up. A lot of the people end up in deep depression. Some people do commit suicide. Some people alcoholism, whatever. I have one or two people who legit was like, I love the life. But that's while it was in the life. After the fact now, the biggest person who's a proponent against porn and the sex industry or whatever is Lisa Lovelace. Now, the pervert, man, if all they don't know who Lisa Lovelace is. Back in 1970-some, 1980-some. One of the first porns, the porn that was the porn to make porn was a porn called Deep Throat, starring a girl named Lisa Lovelace. So Lisa Lovelace was like the start, that's where the term deep throating come in, all of that bullshit.
Wow. Okay.
After the fact now, she became one of the biggest advocates against porn. Because like it destroyed her life and now she do a whole 180. As I thought other girls went full, doing the sign of the cross or bowing to the Mecca.
can I say something?
Yeah.
While in my process of rebranding, I obviously was looking for people who would have retired on these stories. I would say that I have never really saw anyone with any positive storyline. And those who did have a positive storyline, they decided on not even putting themselves back out publicly into the world or would have just got back into the normal world. Probably just don't want anyone to know that this is what they used to do because, again, like, I feel like a lot of women don't take accountability, obviously.
Keep saying it now. Say it just one more time.
And they
Can never
would,
hear you now.
I don't think they accept the part where it's going to take 10 times the average woman to like rebuild your reputation and anything that you want to put. Like nobody's really going to take it serious unless if like you really put that foot forward.
A question if I may. All right. There's a saying that the internet is forever. All right. And what tends to happen is that when people get into the adult content industry, those images and videos don't really go anywhere. All right. So you alluded to the fact that you want to be a mother in the future and whatnot. What is your contingency for, let's say, your son goes to school and somebody comes with the footage of his mom? You know, are you prepared to deal with that backlash?
So I saw an interview on one of a sex. I think she's an OnlyFans creator. On I think her name is Samantha Owens. No, not Samantha Owens. Candice Owens. The recent interview
with some
the
OnlyFans skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
She has a son, and she asked her the same question, like, "What have you did to protect your child?" And I remember her saying that she had a lot of mentors around him and stuff like that. What it is I did not agree on what she was doing. She was basically putting her personal business, not really considering her son she gave her son full name, where he was going to school.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
yeah, she gave a lot of personal details about her life without, in regards to how this would have played or affect her son. But what I have considered, to be real honest with you, is I am considering not letting anybody know when it is I do have children, or putting this part about me on the internet, and allowing my children to basically detach yourself from my social status. It's not going to be easy, and obviously I have to look out ways on how it is I'm going to like go about this. But it's one of the options that I've been considering. Looking at the and you guys know the Chinese owner of Samsung.
Oh, we're going through the thing because like he getting arrested or whatever.
It had a recent story on his daughter, how it is he kind of groomed his daughter into the his will of being one of the Samsung persons.
Oh yeah, he said some Samsung executives.
Right.
South Korean people.
And he said
Chinese.
when it is he had his daughter, no one knew what it is or who her family was. He allowed her to go to school. Obviously, she would have gained all the benefits of being rich. But then when it was time for her to get into the corporate world, he allowed her to work as a normal person in like a secretary in the company. And after that, like he slowly kind of introduced her into the networking of his business. And obviously, by time everyone knew that was his daughter, I guess then he would have had time to like mentor her into the aspect of how to deal with this. But I would say as parents, you can never be prepared. And like I said, when this time happens, it's something I have to take accountability for it. And as I would not want my child to go through this. This is the sad fact of it, that it would happen sometime in the future.
Fair enough.
In order for that, I would tell you, to be honest with you, because it's not just on the internet. It's on a server that people is hack all the time. I could tell you how to get. I could actually tell you how to get it. It have a whole process behind it, which is quite technical. I've never done it before, but it's quite doable. So after you get and snatch it, because it have websites called like defappening, I know these things.
Don't tell them too much.
I'm aware of all these things.
Defappening, these kind of things. So 20 years later, you get, don't go into, I'll tell you one time, don't go into politics. They're going to dig that up on you. Unless you want to jump out automatically. It's like, hey, I was doing this.
The Eminem
do the 8 Mile. Yeah, I did this, whatever, but still vote for me. Other than that, I mean, what seeing that this, she's in engineering. Because I had to flip it on him. And you have an engineering company, you're doing construction or whatever. And she has her background in engineering. Would this actually make a difference in terms of
as an employer?
An employer, and it's just like, X, Y, like,
Not to me. Not to me. I mean, I can't speak to other employers on how they would view that. But in my business, the most important characteristic will always be ability.
competence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not even really interested in your resume per se. I'm interested in your company.
I should do engineering.
No, I'm telling you. You could hire some real crackshot people with a real juicy resume that just can't function in your workplace. They're not agile, So at the end of the day, as an employer, kind of had to look for that agility now.
But how is, okay, in terms of that now, because I'm trying to merge the two guests here. How you going to figure out that, okay, we find out this about her. We in HR, it's like, hey, XYZ, this girl was doing XYZ. How do we know she's crack shot? Or we know she's like the shit how do we know she's competent? Yeah.
Well, you see how some people will build a business and then get people. I get the people and then build the business.
Okay.
So it's a little different for me.
Money. And Monique? Money.
Yeah. No. All right, so just to piggyback on what you're saying there, brother. Employment. Because at the end of the day, you're a business owner. You have certain bottom line that you have to establish, and you're doing this for profit. All right? Markedly so, as the owner of a company that does engineering that has nothing to do with the person's personal life, so to speak. So when you're building a team, because this is also something that the young entrepreneurs among us must also remember.
And like included her, because she's here.
So we get into the business profile that they show now. All right. One such as yourself, going into building a company. When you're building a team, what is the first things that you really look for that you can say, hey, that man, he's somebody I want on my team? Commitment. So delve into that one now. When you say somebody committed, or you could gauge
Well,
that.
all right. Like for me, first of all, like I have I wouldn't say strange view on things, but I try to think about things in a different way, because if we keep doing the same thing the same way all the time, then improvement is slow, right? So I tend to, okay, so if I have to hire somebody, usually it's because I would have had experience dealing with this person, or I could suss out people's ability very quickly based on, how you talk. You have certain questions that I could ask, and I will be able to know one time whether or not you have the killer instinct required to go somewhere. Because I'm not looking for workers as much as I'm looking for business partners. Like, I try to consider every employee as like a business partner on some level. Because you have to understand the world is changing, and the days of having Charlie working for you for 40 years with the same salary, that ain't happening again. Because these youths now value their time and their respect more than anything. And if you can't show a tangible growth path for someone, then they will just go where the grass is proverbially greener.
So
You had to keep the grass watered as much as is possible.
As an employer.
As an employer, I would say so.
Yeah. Well, it goes right back into the whole concept of you had to become the example.
That is true.
And when we speak in terms of people competency, we just look for the telltale signs, the outward signs, but there's always the intangible. And that's what has taken you by surprise. Analogy for that is somebody who will go the extra mile and surprise you and say, hey, I know you wanted X, but look, Y, Z, -1, -2, -3. So...
But you see, my experience has taught me, not meaning to cut you, but just to drive the point home, my experience has taught me that the performance that you get out of an employee is 50% their credentials and 50% how you deal with them. You understand? So the credentials will ever only carry you so far. If you have a real crackshot person, but they feel like they're in an unfulfilled job or they're not being respected. I mean, it's like if you hire somebody as an applied engineer and then you clip their wings, you basically turn them into an administrative assistant. So at the end of the day, if you hire somebody for a process, you can't micromanage, because micromanaging is the first sign that you're a bad leader. You have to be able to delegate. And when you're delegating, you want to make sure that you're delegating to competent people. And if you're not doing that and you're trying to micromanage it for the sake of the almighty dollar, what you end up having is a business running at lower capacity than it can actually produce. So you have to be finding ways all the time to optimize the human resource of the business. And you have to pay close attention to that.
Understood.
Monique?
Can I say something?
Definitely.
She's very polite.
I definitely
Polite.
agree with what he's saying. I would say a lot. He mentioned, why didn't you go and work for ICO? When I remember not getting that position, when I thought that I have really put like 10 foot forward in the job that I was working, and I just felt like I can't believe that the people that they kept at the business wasn't even capable of doing the job. And I made a swear to myself that I was never going to work for anybody again. And I think that kind of put a little vengeance into me on how it is I went about making the decision of wanted so badly to work for myself and being in control. With that being said, I don't want with the direction of the conversation and the things that she's saying make people bypass the importance of some jobs require your reputation to be of high standard, because it is also something to keep in mind that depending of the position that you have or the career that you're going in, you're definitely going to always be attacked firstly by your reputation. So keep that in mind. If anybody probably considering it, or probably feel like if it is they didn't have the best reputation, just probably choose a different path and career.
But you think people is like will watch you on the side of the street when you're walking? Hey, wait, no, that's Monique. She was in XYZ. How much times has that actually ever happened in Trinidad? Black people don't have credit cards, is what I'm trying to say. They can't afford it.
No, I have had people give me a few stares say I knew you from an OnlyFans.
Because he used to have like a mask on. I dig deep in this women because I don't know. Next thing you know, she had a whole like screen mask on or some aesthetic.
It's the whole face, but I think the persona that I gave on my OnlyFans, I would say that because again, like the person that I am, the persona that I give on OnlyFans, I don't want to be naive or say that I'm special in some way, but my fans kind of had a kind of sort of respect for me. Like the things that I would do far from the usual on my fan base, I would obviously have the one or two of the fellas who would disrespect me, but I've never like had it in person or anything like that.
Okay.
Disrespect your how?
Yeah,
Like
what way?
Yeah.
I'd probably leave. I have a cringe. My cringe is using words. You could cuss on the.
Yeah, say it was talk greasy.
Okay, my cringe is like using words like pussy.
Oh, they're talking dirty there.
Yeah, I don't like those words feel very no serious thing.
But
That's
Monique, you're on OnlyFans.
I know.
Monique.
I know.
That's the line.
That's the cringe.
So when
It's like show me your vagina.
Somebody tell me if somebody comment on my picture and say like ask, like instead of tell me like
You have a great
you have a
buttocks.
great butt or a
Buttocks.
great derriere.
I really love how your breasts are in this photograph.
this is something that is very far from
Poindexter.
usual. And it may seem very weird, but I would tell my fans I'll block them if they leave those type of comments.
So what kind of comments you want to hear?
All right, I just say it, right? Is the end user, and if he come out and be a little bit explicit with his description of your body.
Okay, if he says could he at least masturbate to the photos too, or you say no to that as well?
No, that's fine. Like, okay, I had this sounds so weird. This is probably why I needed to leave OnlyFans. But
This is why. Let's hear why.
Let's go.
Let us hear why.
Now reach on the crux.
no, I'm saying this
Talk about
is.
engineering, go back to the OnlyFans.
No,
yes.
I'm just saying this is probably why I needed to leave OnlyFans, because these are the little small things that have made me very cringe.
Okay.
But I remember like I would tell my fans I'll block them if they leave those type of comments, and
there's no sense in leaving the comment.
I think in some sort of way on my OnlyFans platform, in this very weird way, I would kind of teach fellas, okay, yes, this is something that you like what you do, and this is your vice, but at the same time, like sensitize it, like
Humanize it.
yeah.
I don't want to feel like a piece of meat.
Objectified.
Yeah, I would not. You know how they say like this is definitely a career to take advantage of men, and I remember I used to have on OnlyFans you have the option of chatting with your fans, right?
Right.
I used to send them like these like okay, so I used to have a limit to how much you could purchase. Like I definitely put out a like a memo like, okay, this week I'm taking time off. And if it is, you have a budget. Like I always like put these little, not normal things.
Sunday special.
No.
No feet. Listen, we know. We
No, it's like these little
for
normal
$69.
things. Like, no, not that. Like, normal things like this in normal. I would say in normal things like telling them, okay, if you purchase one of my videos, right? Budget. Because I remember this being a topic, like, fans.
Wait.
Let's not just speed over the shit. Damn it.
I need to come in.
It is running.
Just
Wait.
You're budgeting men fap time? Like budgeting how much they spend on their own.
Do you do that in like with regular sex too, or
If I budgeted.
no? In terms of this right now I done laters. That's how you be in like
ration in it.
just ration out the nuns. Oh, sorry, the vagina. Because I don't want to
I
say.
don't ration.
No, but when you think about it, right?
Talk to me. Okay.
When you think about it, right, that just by virtue of her way of thinking could have actually led her to be one of the more top content creators.
Because Simpsons do the extra mile.
Exactly. Right. One, she's having meaningful engagement with her people.
Don't call me. Don't say pussy. Excuse me.
Just respect
me.
You understand?
Worship it. Worship it.
And then she's making sure that you don't blow your entire credit card on vagina.
No, I mean, that's a smart
I
business
mean, it
model.
is a very smart business model.
People might say you're on shit, in terms of, I think you plan this.
I don't
like
think
that.
she on shit.
No,
I
like you
don't.
are just genuinely a modest chick.
Yeah.
No.
To the point of,
I wouldn't say it's genuinely a modest chick, but like I said, I can't help certain things about me because the way how I grew up.
vagina.
Right?
Sorry, pussy.
I can't, and a lot of people, because of the image that I put out,
Right.
I intentionally had a persona that would have put, like, I was this real freaky girl and real sex. Like, instantly when you put yourself sexually, everybody gonna think like you're a big sex freak.
Right.
Right?
But your numbers just wasn't that high. Your body count wasn't that high.
I'm not a big sex freak, and like, as in, no. I don't.
Politician.
I'm not going to answer that question, but
Good stuff.
no. But what it is I'm saying, like, sometimes people say like, how often you have sex, or how would you be aroused by somebody? How would it be turned on? I am kind of emotional with it. Like, I need to be emotionally attached to you.
All right. You see, I have another.
No, this going like come pass the ball, pass it, look the ball here.
I have
You
a
hold it.
question, right? And this is by no means a knock to you, right? So we glaze over a lot of things quite quickly. Number one,
She good at it there. I'll get that. You can glaze. You can slide. You can
number
real
one,
skin.
right? In your content providing days, you had fans, and you used to basically ration these fans. Let these fans know, hey, you're spending limit, you're big dog, you're done.
There's only so much nonsense you could see this week.
Though
Sorry,
I don't,
vagina.
I don't intentionally do it like and tell them, well, they're not getting no more content. It's just that, is that something
it's
that to
content,
be, yeah. No, yeah. No, because it's content. No, but that's saying, is that something that I would have made like awareness of, which as I said, it made it a really tough process because
what I want to ask is like,
It is not, we're not budget here. Just what it's like.
no, I get what you
the rationale behind it is because we want to see how thirsty men does really think now.
I'm trying to get in mind of a sip.
About simp.
Inside a sip. That's the name of this documentary.
you tell this man what way
Oh,
for
okay. I see simp. So you send me 2 videos
Yeah.
or whatever. You send me 2. Hey,
I think the next one?
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to call it a pussy and think because I'm not artist, but I can get some more of your tasty snacks.
What's your answer?
Do you think voice too?
I had a time frame of when it is I would answer messages. I would have a time frame as I would say a number of persons that I would take requests from, and once that reach that limit, I don't care if it is you are requiring something. If I can't make, I can't.
Sweat lock. Yeah.
So how is B? So it's like, okay, I want a little titty picture, and then you send me some more, or what does B like? Or is new content again, like me? I'll get exclusive from what he get.
No, it's different. Like, I mean, it don't have anything standard because it, like I said, it's a platform for sexual desires. So it kind of go all around but I must admit that I don't agree with calling men simps.
All right.
Right?
And you can't say pussy.
I want
No
to
pussy,
say
no simps.
something.
That's the name of this episode.
I want to say something, right? With my experience with dealing with these guys and obviously working amongst these females, I have been paying attention to a lot of the interviews, and I feel like, yes, like the information that you all want to get out there to kind of direct the men back into being a man, you're coming at it in a very insensitive way.
To the girls.
No, a man would never come out and say this, but I'm just like this person. Y'all are coming at it in a very insensitive way, where it is you really don't have an understanding to what this certain man in this position copes through. And it's a little more than what the definition of a simp is. And I think I wish that if this, I mean the people in the position to teach, right? If you really want somebody to learn, you have to pay attention to how you put information across to human beings, because we are humans and we analyze things from an emotional state. These men react to these things in a very emotional state because of the fact of a lot of things that aren't really talked about. Like a lot of them coming from trauma, probably.
Single parent households, most likely.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we really don't consider when it is you'll bring it across, it's just like a simp. That's the drawing the basics.
No, I just want to say before we go thing. This might be a good employee for your big man thing. Like legit.
Did you hear she said she works for no one?
Yeah, business partner.
She swore.
No, that was back then. I want to get back out to the corporate.
This might be a good because Glaze, and on top of that, you realize she about deadline, she about here's the scene my I see it this working out.
No, but let me ask you guys a question.
Structure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That had to be good for something.
Let me ask you guys a question, right?
Yeah.
So we're on the discussion of a simp.
Okay.
Can you all describe what is a simp?
You want to take this, Brian?
Let me see how
You go ahead.
I got my mind on waves on today. Yes.
You
See, I'll take the
this one.
cake home. Okay. A simp is somebody that
Probably that's characteristics.
who gives his resources to a female expecting sex and not getting sex repeatedly. So the first time you get catch, you get finesse. Okay, everybody get catch. But then, hey, I really like you, Monique. Ding, 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 we go out and you have no intention of having any kind of sexual interaction with me, and I keep. So then they say, no, well, he's like a brother to me, or he's like a friend to me, or he's like a whatever. You know the interesting thing about the simp thing epidemic is that every single man has once or twice been a simp. So that's why when you said why we have to be so insensitive to people is because that's what snap you back into reality. It's not no bullshit here. It's like when I was simping, partners was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I just shake mouth to the bullshit and I was like, yo, I bugging.
All right. So
And what the same thing I could say for you.
Every man.
Remember when you had like this is years ago. You had your shit. I was like, bro, if you do that, I lock in you off, eh? Don't be a fucking cut. And he was like,
no, let me tell you something, right? All right. So, just to paraphrase what you just said, right? Men and women have, but you didn't talk about women. You see, these men have emotional responses to when you come at them insensitively.
Not directly, but like, I guess
They internalize it.
Yeah, what it is I'm saying is like probably the approach of how it is you would want to like encourage this man into changing certain characteristics. It digs a little more deeper than what it is you guys would surface. Like he'd mentioned, like, you know, he would have his simp moments.
No. Simp. It was a simp era. It was
No,
called
no.
secondary school.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
These
called
are
secondary
things.
school.
These are things that is normal. Like periods.
Let me explain about. I had the best friend, female friend. I was like, I love you, calling and talking for hours about this shit. As a young adult, no, I learned what the fuck I was doing.
So let me shed some light on this, right?
Right? You know what this is from? You know what that song from?
No, it's
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
This, yeah.
Right.
That's right.
So I'm gonna read for you from dictionary.com what is the urban meaning of the word simp.
Okay.
It's really short for the word simpering, and it's not simping. Simping is just a shortened version of it, right?
Black people can't spell. That's basically.
So simp is a slang insult for men who are seen as too attentive and submissive to women. All right? Especially out of failed hope of winning some entitled sexual attention or activity from them. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. So the word simp is meant to troll young men for doing anything for a girl to get some action he supposedly deserves. But really and truly, he ain't gonna get the action.
Simpsons be the convicts, just by the way, and the representing.
No,
Yeah.
I understand these things.
Yeah, so we had to treat them bad. Trust me, treat them bad. You gotta be insensitive.
So now let me break it up. When you're a young man growing up, you just quickly know, because of the, I guess, testosterone or whatever the case is, quickly know who is in the hierarchy, who is the top dog, from who is the beta.
One word, pecking order.
It's a pecking order, right?
Two words.
And when men have to buckle down or improve themselves, the best remedy for that is other men telling you, hey, you are not that. Playing competition sports, you're going to sign up for a football team. You think the coach going to come and tell you, well, boy, you what I want you to do. You're going to know. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. So come back and try out and try out and try out. Really and truly tell you, hey,
If I could say something.
Run in.
Right. No, I understand exactly what what's her name again?
Monique.
Monique is trying to bring across, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, is kind of way engineers think, you know, it's either this or that, right? And it's either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution, right? And I think in her mindset, at least right now, what she's saying is like, look, yes, there is this issue here, but she thinks that it should be dealt with in a more humane way. Now, I would understand, that thought process, but let's take a small journey back in time, right? Now, my parents were very authoritative.
Yeah.
They were not gentle at all, right? Our generation of parents is a far different version of what our parents were in terms of how we administrate our children, right? And the narrative has been pushed, generally speaking, about less and less harsh means of trying to achieve a result. But look, at the end of the day, we're still animals, right? And there's a certain level of primal that's required now. I could say that I had a relatively rough upbringing, but I think I'm better off for it. Yeah. And if we look at what's happening in schools right now and the behavior of this young generation and the fact that there is almost no respect, there's very little meaningful engagement among youths and all this sort of different things. So I am starting to question whether or not we need to continue with this gentle, don't worry about that soft approach, or if we need to go back to some kind of barbarianism, because
She has got some pushback.
Well, I mean, I'm not suggesting that we do either, but
Right.
the question has to be asked, because what we have now and what we were supposed to get as a result of certain practices don't seem to be congruent.
Of course.
So again, with the big words, what does congruent mean?
the same, you know, like
Yeah,
congruent.
I know what it means, but there's people that listen to it. It's like, hey, that's a big word, boy, congruent. But
let's talk too high for me.
let's talk too congruent for me, boy.
I understand what they're saying, my dog, boy. Yeah.
Not the same.
All right. Let me probably put myself in the situation to try to help you guys understand what it is I was trying to relate to. So I remember when it is I was a young, probably like from 19 to 20. I would have had people to look up to, like Cardi B.
Like who? Oh, then you know one.
Who's that?
I would have had people to look up to, like Cardi B. A lot of people that I would have thought this is the normal thing, right? I would like kind of admit to, like, when I was growing up, I grew up very modest, and when I reached 18.
That's when the dickens started. Sorry, the penising.
No, just a simple thing as having the opportunity to wear heels. But because I was from a home that I would say did not really educate you, and it kind of like every time you do something bad, it's more like shame you.
Conservative.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up, I had a lot of questions in church. Like, I remember I used to ask my granddad, like, could you explain this? And he'd be like, no, it don't question the word of things.
What were you
Right?
talking about today? You was talking about that today.
And it lead me to that very open mind to have a openness to people who would teach me. Right? And it didn't matter where it is I was being taught. And this leaves an open forum for people to be very naive and be taken advantage of in ways like, okay, you're very sensitive and innocent to the things that you learn, right? Because you don't really know much.
And then you're a young girl.
And then you don't know what you don't know.
But a young man now.
All right, so I'm going to finish up what I was basically telling you. All right? Men and women have two different motivations and two different ways in which they learn. Right? Yeah. Men and women have two different motivations in which they learn. All right? For the sake of making the conversation much shorter, when we give tough love, it's based on us internalizing that the world really doesn't care for your excuses as a man. All right? So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pivot it back to you. When you say you are looking for a man, or you have a man, wouldn't you want this man to be the person to take front or be the leader for you in your family, or you want to be the one to be his protector and his provider, you know?
I would want him to be the man, and the rules that come with the man.
Do you want them to like come to you and it's like, I don't like how you're talking to me, baby, because right now
Because
he fired me today at work and I can't pay for the rent.
for the past 22 shows, right, we have been asking our question to women. And is for the one to, would you be willing to take care of a man till the day you die financially?
No.
Right. So with that being said, there are certain burdens that are placed on either sex, right? Women have this set of burdens that they have to go through, and men have this set of burdens that they have to go through. When we talk about what will push the needle forward in society, I often say that what breaks society down are the simps and the promiscuous women alike. Because we really need motivated men who are strong enough to deal with the flaws, deal with the insecurities from a stable place. Not to hear something that irks them the wrong way and they react to it negatively. Because then what they're actually doing is leaving a void for leadership. So you're looking at your man, hear his boss talk to him and say, hey, he ain't do good enough this week. And when you pass by the bathroom, in the bathroom, crying. Just because somebody tell him he didn't do good enough. When in truth and in fact you look at the situation, he probably did not do good enough. Right? I have a question. Well, not a question. I heard this on our podcast some time ago. A soldier was going to war. And his wife was like, I wish he could stay a day with me. A day extra. And he sat down on the bed and he was internalizing this. And when she came back into the room, because she left the room and she came back, she saw him unpacking his bag and she's like, what you doing? And he's like, here, girl, I want to stay with you. And what happened in the future is that she lost respect for him from that day. Because it's basically him coming off for his purpose. You're a soldier, you need to go and do what you have to do to become on somebody else's purpose. So I don't want to carry that talk too far, but what I want to say is that there's a particular
way and how you deal
with men versus women. So when we call them simps, it's because the majority of men gonna agree that you're a somebody.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You don't have to ask, you know. You could
Just see,
we never want to.
polite.
So here's the thing. What it is, I have been doing my research to kind of understand this thing. So from what it is I understand is they say that when humans go through a certain trauma, right? They it have like, how to put it, like a feminine. It's okay. So there's like a scale. It's masculine and feminine.
Does this by chance have any astrology tied to this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Right.
I think she coming
So-
down my road.
No, I could only speak from my experience, and I think it made sense in my head. I remember before going and doing all this healing, and I kind of realized my trauma and how it affected a lot of my decisions and choices. A lot of the things that I was how I was coping through, how people would say you're in survival mode, right? It was more on the masculine side of things, and being able to have this space to kind of dig more deeper and heal these certain aspect of myself, to kind of improve certain characters about myself. I think what it is I'm saying is majority of the men that I think are Sims in some way have went through some trauma. And I think maybe I really saying that people in positions who are men, that I think, yes, you guys have to be stern. I totally agree with that. You have to be stern and you're not going to be sensitive. But I think what it is I'm saying is the information on how, I don't know how men would do it, but what I'm saying is the information on how you would bring it across to teach these men, I would like it to be more in a space where it's not kind of encouraging other people to look down on these individuals because they are very fragile. And I would love to see a world that where more men take up their role and responsibility.
You there. You got there.
There's one thing, right, that I see as a recurring decimal in the way people deal with things.
Man, bring
Right.
engineering.
And
Bring engineering in again.
no,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we realize the attrition, but what we have is a scenario where every bit of dealing with things, the narrative is about outside rather than inside.
Point.
Right? So when you talk about, creating a safe space and, all these different methodologies that they have.
We come from the 80s.
You
It's
understand?
80s babies.
No, I'm just saying, positive reinforcement, all these different things that are trying to be implemented, to me, are not fixes. They are a external patch, right? When really and truly the focus supposed to be on, listen, your brain is a computer, right? And from the time you are born, the circumstances that you go through in life starts to program your brain. And you analyze everything on the backdrop of that programming. So people who have mental problems just need to understand that it's simply a problem with the programming. You have neurons in your brain. I have neurons in my brain. Everybody has neurons in their brain.
Right.
So your brain is just a chemical factory.
Right.
Right. But at the end of the day, I think there need to be greater emphasis and focus not on creating a safe space as much as you should create an algorithm to actually help people.
Okay, have an engineering degree. We got it.
No, analyze a situation from a better standpoint, because every time we try to do this safe space, to me, I think we exacerbate the problem by making it seem like weakness is an option. And unfortunately, it isn't, because this world don't have space for it. The weak are eaten. You understand? Or don't.
Please use this as a clip. Please use this as a clip AI.
Or don't get eaten. Right? So
Eat or get eaten.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Understood.
What I was going to say is, okay, if we as men,
You have a point, by the way.
he has a get two claps.
Bravo.
Why I wanted to swing back the ball, because kick back the ball at me now. In the same manner that we now should treat the Sims with respect and whoa, let me go. Not respect, but though disseminate the information as harmful to their self-esteem as we should.
As politely as possible.
How about the women that is simping after, get them some pussy?
Hey, dog, listen.
No.
Why not? No. Why not? I mean, if we had to do that, because that's what they really want. That's what they really want. So why not? In all of these Sims that you could say that you don't call Sims, it's like, you know what? Do us the public.
You catch me real off guard there.
Do us the public service. And like, you know what? I realize that you traumatized. You're weak.
That should be the motto. Fix a man today.
Fix a man today. Give him some.
Okay.
At least one.
Some man.
Some vagina. Some sexual healing. Because that's what he needs. He's traumatized.
All right.
Why not?
So,
She didn't say no.
no. Okay, so I would say, I want to name some of the people who have been on the platforms to kind of address this sim matter, which would have been the what do you call this guy who got locked up based on allegations?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, and before him was Kevin
Samuels.
Now, I remember and now we have Candace Owens. Those are the three people that I really pay attention and kind of
admire
and take.
Imagine a woman saying she admire and
she like it. She like it.
Good for
It's
you.
because he's light skinned. It's because of
No, good for
I
you.
think
Good for you.
biological women like him.
Yeah.
No, I would
Engineer,
not.
hire that boy.
I won't agree with everybody way of how it is they would put information out, but as again I say that you have to internalize things and not respond in an emotional manner. Now, a lot of the things that Kevin Samuel was talking about hit me directly in my face.
Okay.
And I used to be like, what the hell, boy, what are you talking about?
He probably gave a small dick, but when he started listening to it now.
But I took the information and I researched it.
And was it not harsh the way you get hard though?
Yes, it was harsh.
And it worked.
But I think what it is I was trying to explain, I agree with you guys, right? On the point of, I don't know how men should put information across. And like, what it is, I said a safe space. I feel like majority of the times when the conversation are being discussed or they put certain people on platforms, I think a lot of the times they attack them so harshly that they don't really get a time to like explain or ask to guide them how it is they would
You know why
methods.
You know why Kevin Samuels and Tate and all these people would be so harsh? Because they've been there.
Yeah.
You know,
Every man has simped.
you know why we being so harsh? Because
We've been there.
You know,
Every man has simped. Probably not like
it have bigger sense than some.
some men stay simping.
Yeah. But we've been there.
And you know what? Simping did not get me the vagina that I wanted.
And at the end of the day, that's all men really.
No, simply did not give me the vagina I wanted.
Let me call a spade a spade.
No, so unless you're willing to be the sacrificial lamb and say, you know what, Sims, I will bully you.
The
You
funny
can't
thing,
tell me that.
I remember in UV.
Right. Oh God.
There was this girl,
Oh God.
right, that I really wanted to have an opportunity with.
Right.
And I was towing the line, being the
Best friend.
Best simp possible.
Yeah.
You understand? And then I remember one day I was kind of like drunk or whatever, and like I braced her. I was like, hey, you know, where's this one? You know what I mean?
You're fucking everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, what going on? I said, like, I just transported and what going on?
High school
You,
cabbage.
you wouldn't believe what she told me. You know?
What she doing?
Say it for Miss Monique to help get some understanding on the plight of a
Well,
man.
I already have an
wasn't,
idea.
it wasn't a plight, but you know what she told me was, Nicholas, you never asked.
This is great.
This is what
You didn't ask. You didn't ask, nigga.
You didn't ask.
You would have gotten it. You never asked.
She was like, you come in here, dropping me all over the place, doing all this thing of your free will, and then vex and give you nothing, and you never ask.
You never try. You didn't.
So
And I was like, well, I mean, she did so much for me mentally right there that I was like, okay,
First question is
this makes sense.
sure.
How are you going to know that you don't have a chance if you do ask? And I think that a lot of men could solve problems that they have just by opening them out,
Becoming brave.
becoming brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monique.
I-
Monique, I really like you,
I
and I wanna carry out and think. Can I have some of this virgin?
Hello. Yeah. So
Yes, good stuff.
no.
No, you go ahead, Monique.
Yeah. What I was saying is right. What's I gonna say? He threw me off.
Yes. Go ahead.
What I must say, I admire since the shift in the information that was given into this generation, because I think that we really needed it. I saw a lot more females who are capable of putting on how to this word.
Navigate.
Yeah,
Nagivate.
It's a punchy punch on the door yourself, right?
Oh, wait, we didn't do that by the way.
You have 2 minutes to do
direct.
it,
Direct these females on how to be women. I have seen more numbers rising, and I am very appreciative to it.
Of more womanly women or
Feminine,
more
feminine.
feminine.
I wouldn't just say feminine, like literally teaching you on how things that I wouldn't probably know, like how men will perceive you, things that are important to society, stuff like that as a woman.
So prior to this is how you always spoke with the kind of very low tone and cadence, or this is what you learned?
No, if in my personal space, I could be more like,
So when you're comfortable, yeah.
No,
Acting a role.
I'm not acting a role.
No, what I was saying, when you're comfortable, is a
If I-
chatterbox.
If
She not chat about it.
No, I'm talking about
I would
low
say,
tone, very small.
I would say certain things need to be, when you're in public, you need to have that certain brought up seat.
Okay.
So, but what I want to say is, I have not been seeing a lot of males giving methods to men. Like, I wish I would see more. Maybe because I'm not a man.
Or maybe because the algorithm.
Yeah, no,
Okay, let me not say that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not let me say that, but let me just put it out there that I want to see men help men be men, because it has been great having the education that I have.
Oh, I really believe that the algorithm is polarizing people.
Yeah, the
So
algorithm
on
set
one
people
side,
apart.
they will have pro men, pro women, and then we never meet in the middle. This is what your podcast
It's
is
really about.
supposed to be. Not really manosphere. We just
We just
High
bring
five for
people
you
together.
guys, though.
No, but if I had to just be a smidge unfair to what she's saying, like if I go back in my brain memory about what I would see as males giving advice, it is usually on how to be hard.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. A macho man.
As opposed to
or to be a man.
how to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a difference in the two concepts.
It's a
right?
nuance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the saying, they say a man has to go through hardship to learn how to be a man.
All right, a passage.
It is. It's flame.
Yeah.
That's why it's
I
like to be a
think-
man through flames.
I think that's true, though. Like, I see it every day.
All
think-
woman is learning to be a woman.
I think it works for humans. You had it because I mean we're using the word man and woman, you know, but at the end of the day, sorry. At the end of the day,
Yep.
you have you gotta look at it as just people,
Yeah.
because people need a tough situation to really have that
Maturity.
I don't know
To find
that
themselves.
facility to be able to really, dig deep.
I just
Yeah.
want to throw there, just spoken all wheels here. When I said because we're going into the word commercial break. So before we go into commercial break, when I said, hey, Monica, like your social role eyes, right? These Sims was not getting no blight from Monique.
Oh gosh, but Monique tell you already.
No,
She says she used to.
No, but she said that she has to be emotional.
No, I said I have a boyfriend.
No. She rolled her eyes with disgust.
No, not disgust. What I was meaning that in more like a social environment, like be for real, like that's on joke thing. Like I know he wasn't being for real.
Oh yeah. I don't believe a word she just said there, guys.
No, if you really had,
Because she was like,
made me-
what?
No, if you
like
had,
me?
no, if you had made me feel uncomfortable, I would have told you made me feel.
Understood.
Yeah.
I honestly think she would have.
But
Yeah.
you said you're going into.
Commercial
No,
break.
but you have something to say before you go to.
No, I just wanted to mention certain things. He said, sorry, Nicholas. I must applaud you to the way how it is, not because it's beneficial to me, but this is probably something that I have talked about many times on how it has affected me in my career and workspace and being able to be employee to employer. I think employers need a lot of schooling on how it is they would, create a work environment for employee and how it would
Oh gosh, she would take your resume again. Lord.
No,
Don't worry.
I want to hear.
No, I just want to say that it would help. I just wish that it could educate a lot of, business people on how it would help grow and kind of expand their business. Because I would say growth has to do it a lot with culture change. And if you don't really have that kind of diversity, the business really won't go, successful because culture affects everything. So, kudos to you, and I hope that
Kudos.
yeah, kudos to you.
We got you, shorty. So Punchy Punch. This show has been brought to you by, because this is the last thing basically.
Yeah, we only last bottle now.
Yeah, this has been brought to you by Punchy Punch. So share responsibly. Ready to drink, no chaser, served chilled and refrigerated and open. Basically, you have a drink that's small.
Yeah,
How is this?
it's just like white oak and punch.
Hey.
Hey. So where's
That's
something wrong
nice.
with white oak and punch? Like,
Nothing wrong with right to come.
No, I'm not thinking. I just saying they asked me to give you a description. It tastes like white oak and
you know,
punch.
you could use that other adjective like good or something like that.
Oh no, it tastes good.
Oh,
It tastes good.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you
No, I
very
thought
much.
you was asking me to be
She's an
descriptive.
engineer.
Jesus.
Again, you need to
No,
remember.
well, it's comprised of. It's comprised of.
If you
Punch
ask a
water.
question, you will get an answer. You asked, how does it taste? And she told you.
I think she built it anyway. Punchy Punch. What we recommend
mixed
in
it.
terms of, so like if I was to carry on this date, since you don't have a boyfriend, this hypothetical thing, can I carry you for Punchy Punch drinks, me, you, 2 drinks, a blanket, 2 doubles, and a bottle of Punchy Punch? They be down.
They have 2 swigs and you into the
2
action.
swigs.
I would say like the aspect of what it is not happening.
Come on, just imagine I was a little bit more light skin, had more waves. Tell you Punchy Punch, blanket, 2 drinks.
If I'm looking for something, I would say I'm looking for something more serious. So,
We on a
I
date?
think like it matters. So how it is you with date or guilt. So I'm not saying nothing is wrong with Punchy Punch. Probably.
I am trying to friggin' get these spots.
Oh, okay.
right?
All right.
Christ.
So we could go on the date with the Punchy Punch, of course.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well said.
I threw it in the ball here. I was like, what, Jesus Christ.
This has been thoroughly enlightening.
Yeah. All right, good.
Anyway, we ready?
Yeah, so we're looking to we've reached the point where we're looking to wrap up and basically provide some context as to how this hour-and-a-half long conversation. Generally speaking, we appreciate the fact that you could have come to the show, and women like to use this term, speak the truth. There's only one objective truth, of course. All right? But give us a little enlightenment on what it takes on what you've been through.
Yeah, final words. Final words.
In the struggle, you know?
I wouldn't really call it a struggle, but it's probably just a journey on my part. I think, I guess, with accountability for the choices that I make, I guess it's more like me trying to find comfort in what it is I have made decisions in, and just probably enjoying where it is life takes me. And obviously, it comes with a lot of knowledge. And I would say that you must always have a listening ear to any person that has different parts. Like, don't just be close-minded, because you could always learn something, you know. Yeah.
Nick, final words. Congruent.
Well, what I could say though, one thing I just because you were talking about like helping other people get knowledge and whatever, and like there's something I've tried, right? But there's something that I noticed. If I try to put out a video that is, I guess, talking about something sensible, you might get 400 views.
Yeah.
You put out a video with, I don't know, somebody getting shoot, it gone viral. So it's harder to propagate good information than it is to propagate bad information. And that's the barrier, I guess, to being able to want to help.
That's true.
I
Because
don't know if that makes
the
sense.
amount
Absolutely.
of people, I think a lot of people in this generation don't really have question to anything that they do. So the number of people who actually are looking to like figure out or probably, work on certain things, the number is going to be really low. But I am really tired about the trendings. For example, Krishan, Rock, and Blueface.
Hey, she was that, yeah. Both of them are king, Rosie said,
No, but I'm
was
tired of these things being pushed to the front.
It's on your algorithm.
Yeah, and sometimes it's normalized, and sometimes I had to really check myself and be like, hey, it's not something that you should really consume. So, it's everything is about balance. It's not just one person or one you in this planet, but I would love to see more of educators on that same trend.
Understood.
Yes. So,
How could they find you?
yeah.
And what business you trying to plug?
I'm at Real Love TT RERE
Rare love.
Rare love.
LOVTT. Right now I'm really exploring going back into the corporate world as a engineering, sales, technical designer, creative director, and also exploring my creation on the arts and entertainment aspect of things. So
Excellent.
Nick, any business to plug?
If you have an energy company and you require some engineering, procurement, and construction services, feel free to reach out to us. www.ssltnt.com. We have a wide range of services, and we will solve all your problems. That's why the name of the company is Supply Solutions, because I believe every problem has a solution.
Okay. And of course, I had to plug my OnlyFans. www.onlyfans.com/notaredguy.
The Patreon.
I don't have OnlyFans. Okay, patreon.com.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, quick like and subscribe. Patreon.com/he_everything, of course. Mr. Bazzi, 2 man.
Do good every time, good will follow. Later.